Well, I first heard about this a couple of years ago. I was playing over in Australia, and one of the coaches at my club back in England suggested looking at what Steph does. So I checked out Twitter and I got a hold of Steph. He helped me. He sent me over a program, said what he was doing, what he recommended on doing, and it went from there really.
I first saw about cricket strength on Facebook. A few of my friends had liked the page, and due to my ambitions, thought it'd be good to have a read. Saw that the content and all the emails they send through were free, so I thought, I'll take a look at that. After doing a bit of research into Ross and Steph and what knowledge I had about the game, it was a no-brainer to carry on reading and taking on board what they had
My
to say.
first actual cricket strength workshop was the Build a Fast Bowler seminar back in November, and how that went was brilliant. I learned so much there, got so much more knowledge from Ross and Steph. Changed the way I've prepared pre-match, all training, and just gave me a great insight about the way the pros do it. And
The first workshop that I attended with the cricket strength boys was building a fast bowler day back in November at Wellington School. The day went very well. They made a specific program assigned to me after some testing, some photos that they asked for before the day. They wanted to see our bowling action before the day, so they knew what was coming at them. They watched all our movements, actions, flexibility testing. It was just everything that you could want from a day like that. That it was worth. I'd have paid 3 times what the course on that day was worth. It was just fantastic. They speed gunned us on the day. I was clocked at 75, which I was quite happy with. After 4 weeks of working on their program, that speed was up at 79 miles an hour. And I've revisited Steph a couple of weeks ago, just to see if I could progress a little bit further. And I'm now up at 81 miles an hour, according to Steph's speed gun, which is getting me a long way, hopefully.
like I just said, it gave me a lot more knowledge on how to prepare pre-game, how to go about training, the kind of things you do to warming up properly, which is a big factor. Ross also did a great section about the mobility, which I learned so much more from, about the way to go and try and avoid injuries. And
The biggest thing I learned from the day was it's not just about being a gym monkey to learn to bowl quicker. I used to just go to the gym, lift weights, do a bit of running, maybe a bit of swimming. But what you really need is their knowledge. They teach you how to train specifically, all the medicine ball throwing in the specific ways that they ask for, the mobility and flexibility work, and the stability, just trying to avoid injuries. A couple of seasons ago I had a back injury. It's gone, but going from that, I know how bad that can be when you're watching your teams play and you're not on the field doing a job for them. And anything that you can get from these, even if you just take a tiny piece of their knowledge, it goes such a long way.
well, changed my mindset completely. I was one of these guys that thought if I just go to the gym, lift heavy weights, do a bit of cardio, then I'll become bigger, stronger, and then necessarily bowl quicker. But I learned that's not how it works. It's not as simple as that. You gotta train specifically. So Ross and Steph with the medicine ball work, changed that completely by using them. It helped a lot really, and especially the mobility side. I've become a lot more flexible, which is what you need as a fast bowler, especially. And I touch wood, I went injury free last season. So obviously, from what I've got from the programs that Ross and Steph have done, and from the seminars, just helped me so much more.
The impact it's had on my game personally is absolutely massive. I was just breaking into playing Premier League cricket when I first heard about the Cricket Strength Boys. I then started playing for the minor county second 11 team after a season, and I'm now the opening bowler for the first team in Suffolk. I've managed to play a few games for Essex and Leicestershire second 11s. I've just completed my first game with the Unicorns. Juicy got me down to trial with him at Worcester. Steph put me up to Leicestershire. So that they just give you their knowledge. They use what they have, push you forward to progress as much as possible. It's a shame that Juicy's team just offered me a game with Worcestershire, but unfortunately I couldn't get that time. But yeah, it's just everything's fantastic with what
Impact
they
on
do.
the game. Beforehand, I'd turn up to a match, just go through through the emotions really, just normal warm up, get the blood pumping, just have a ball, a bat, bit of fielding, and then great, go ahead in the game. And that was fine, but it wasn't really getting me anywhere, especially if I was to be playing a lot higher standard. So now I do mobility work, medicine ball work before games, getting everything ready, making sure my body's in the best shape it can be. And it's had a great impact, as last season I've actually won the bowling award in my club. So it's taught me to get personal recollections, if that's the right word. So personal honours is great. So it's definitely had a massive impact on my game. Yeah, I definitely recommend Cricket Strength. These guys know Ross and Steph. They're the best in the business. A lot more people should be opening their eyes to what they do, especially with Ross with the mobility work. I think that's a huge game changer, getting your body in a physical state to bowl quick, or bat, or field in general. And make sure your body's moving so the way it should be, really. That's a massive help. And then with Steph, with the medicine ball work and the 410 pegs that he's been implementing into the training programs, is definitely a great addition. So any young bowler or bowler in general that wants to improve, get better, whether that be play a higher standard or just become quicker for themselves, then Cricket Strength's definitely the place to be. So yeah, just go ahead, join up, listen to what Ross and Steph are doing, and you'll be all the better for it.
Would I recommend Cricket Strength? Definitely. I already have recommended it to a lot of my teammates, a lot of the lads from the Suffolk setup. Ross and Steph so forthcoming with the information that it's just not fair if people haven't heard about them to hold it back. If they can better their games, then it's better for everyone. And yeah, it just definitely is worth anything that you can grab from Ross and Steph.